You know, Bob, the areas you mentioned that are likely to get hit by Cindy, these people who live there, having lived in that region, I mean, they're used to these kind of things, but it doesn't make it any easier.
No, you know, and they were talking about hurricanes and how they have an impact. This is not anywhere close to a hurricane, too.
Right.
That's another good thing to, you know, for those folks there. It's gonna be tough, you know. Tropical storms are not just tropical storms. They do pack a punch. We learned about that in 2001 with Gabrielle here along the west coast of Florida, knocking power out to 200,000 people here along the sun coast, and that was a tropical storm. Well, this time around, Cindy has just brought some high surf occasionally here along the sun coast, a couple of marine advisories, a couple of water spouts 2 days ago, but that's been about it, really. We could use the break, and we got a little break from Cindy, taking a lot of the moisture with it. We haven't had a lot of rainfall. We've had some brief showers here and there, certainly, but the RIP current advisory is no longer in effect for coastal waters here. Tropical storm Cindy set to make landfall sometime after now it looks like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It is still a little bit offshore. The winds are at 50. It looks like it's going to stay there too. The pressure has been dropping though all evening long. It's down to 992 millibars, and the next advisory will be at 2 a.m. our time. It makes landfall, as I mentioned, sometime around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, looks like now, right at the border of Texas and Louisiana, and then it progresses very quickly off toward the northeast there. Now, as far as we're concerned, we're not seeing any rainfall from it, but boy, the panhandle of Florida still is, and obviously right there near Houston, Galveston, all the way up to Port Arthur, that's where the storm is. Now, the center is still offshore ways. You can see the rotation right here, rather broad circulation with not a lot of deep convection developing around it at this time. It's still about 93 miles or so to the southeast of the Texas and Louisiana border, and so that puts it about 4 hours away from making landfall, give or take an hour, depending upon if it decides to slow down a little bit. But right now, these are the areas that will see the heaviest wind and the strongest rain over the next several hours. And then there's a tornado watch in effect for the panhandle of Texas, or I should say a panhandle of Florida, all the way over to Mississippi, and it looks like New Orleans is going to be spared the heavy rainfall from this. They could still see some moderate to heavy showers, though, through the overnight hours. For us, all the rain, for the most part, is over. Still some showers in the inland counties pushing off to the north. Currently, it's 80 degrees. It's warm, it's muggy, with the dew point temperature up there at 74. It feels like 85 degrees. The pressure 30.08 inches. The news on it, it's starting to rise. So our pressures are starting to get a little higher, and that means more sunshine in the forecast for us on Thursday and Friday. 92, it will be hot though. 92 today. We'll see low 90s again tomorrow. 89 is the normal high, and 97 the record set back in 1998. We could use a little break from the rain, and we're going to get it tomorrow. Just a few showers expected in the afternoon. That rain chance not all that high. We're well above average for the month, over 5 inches. Temperatures around the state, 77 in Orlando. It's 84 now. In Key West and in Miami, temperatures all up and down the coast, upper 70s to low 80s, or mid 80s. In some cases, it feels like that way. 77 in Arcadia now. The Gulf water temperature now at 85 degrees. So if you're running the beaches, a little bit warmer there for our overnight readings. Forecast Thursday looks good. More sunshine. I know I talked to Richard Cern a couple of days ago. He said, am I going to be able to get my tennis in on Thursday morning? I said, yeah, you should have no problem. And certainly he shouldn't, and neither should anyone else out there in the golf course or the tennis courts. Some showers and storms expected in the afternoon. They'll be scattered about. Wouldn't be a lot of heavy activity for a long duration. 65. Look at the cooler weather throughout the Great Lakes and the Detroit and Columbus, and hot, still hot in Salt Lake City at 90, Denver at 86 degrees, and yes, the heat goes on out west. Phoenix now at this hour at 110 degrees. For boaters, still a bit choppy out there. Seas running 2 to 4 feet. And the bays and inland waters will see choppy conditions. Tides have come in. The next low tide will be at 5:15, and sunrise will be at 6:36. 7-day forecast calling for pretty quiet weather through Saturday. Chances for showers come back Sunday in the afternoon and evening, and that sticks around all through next week.